Chapter 4. Promotion, Power, and Corruption. "How is she?" Methuselah asked his mother as she and the other Medici came out of Mother Eve's dwelling. Medici Adna shook her head. "Not good. Death be at her door for truth, unless the Ancient One gives her favor. At her door for truth, unless the Ancient One gives her favor." "Where is your father?" she asked. "We sent for him too. If anyone would know what to do, the bearer would." "May I go in to see her?" Methuselah asked, avoiding the subject of his father for now. This is not the time to tell mother. "Is that Enoch's sack? I have the roots of the ruach plant you asked for," he said, holding out the pouch to buy time. "I found them by the river Gihon and picked them just this son's birth. They are fresh." His mother grabbed the pouch, opened it, and sniffed. Her eyes lit up. "Oh, this might do Mother Eve good. I must go to her." Medici Adna dashed towards the Sabasi tents for help, mumbling something about a paste. Onami waited outside with Methuselah, focusing on Mother Eve's dwelling, while he tried to tune out the voice of Medici Adna droning on. For some reason, her signature overrides the others. Mother Eve's tent in a rush. Good. Now that she's gone, I can focus. He could just make out the voice of Mother Eve saying something about the fallen. Onami relaxed and concentrated the same way he did when he was performing his warrior stances. First position, breathe. Then second, exhale. Then second, exhale. Each movement took him deeper into his center, into communion with the one mind. Third position. This is amazing. I can hear everything with crystal clarity. Onami continued to listen deeply. Methuselah was wondering how to tell his mother about Enoch, Tafara, and about needing to get out of the wood and deliver an urgent message. Onami stilled himself further. It seemed as if his friend was right by his side. "I think I can contact him," he projected his thoughts. "Delmar, meet me at 1704, 16.33. "Captain!" Eyes flew open. "What?" he said with a start, immediately losing his connection with Delmar in the process. He had been so absorbed with listening to signatures, Onami hadn't noticed the soldiers' approach. Unbeknownst to the humans, an entire company of heavenly hosts stood at attention outside Mother Eve's abode, with all eyes glued on him. Just then, Father Seth and Medici Tafara appeared in the entryway of Mother Eve's home. Their faces were grave. Tafara looked as if she had been crying. "Look, Father Seth!" Adna rushed to his side. "I have the ruach paste. We can—" Father Seth shook his head, mounted on the doorpost, lifted it to his lips, and blew. Within moments, a wail broke forth from the 7 hills, starting from the upper levels and flowing down until lament filled the valley. Mother Eve was dead. "The premises are secure, Captain Onami, sir." The soldier shouted and clicked his heels. "The human woman has been safely transitioned." "Of course she has, Sergeant," said Onami, quickly recovering his composure. "I would expect no less from Guardian Alpha Company." He added, "Excellent work. Carry on." The officer looked confused, still stood at attention. "Well," said Onami. Finally, he said, "We are awaiting orders, sir." "Oh, right," said Onami. The reality of his new rank just sank in. Simjaza is no longer the captain. I am. "Certainly. Let's see, okay. The beloved hasn't given me orders yet. What should I do?" Immediately, a response entered his mind. "What do you think you should do?" Onami sprang into action. "What's your name, Sergeant?" The Elohim avoided eye contact and cleared his throat. "I am Sergeant Tabak, sir." "Well, Sergeant Tabak, straighten your back and don't hesitate next time." "Sir, yes, sir." "At ease, company." The soldiers relaxed, observing their new leader with interest. Onami continued, "As you know, our former leader, Captain Simjaza, along with many of our comrades, have forfeited violations of the code. As such, leadership of the Alpha Company has been reassigned to me. We are on standby for new orders from the beloved. Until then, if you notice anything out of the ordinary, anything out of the Ancient's will, let your superior officer or myself know." "Excuse me, sir," said the recruit with more confidence. Who are our superior officers? Good question, said Anami. That depends on all of you. Anami flared. Every color of the rainbow splayed across his being before returning to his normal pearly hue. Now that our ranks have been purged of fallen, I have been authorized to select 12 commanding officers to lead this new division of the host. Be ready for changes. The Elohim looked at each other with excitement. Pardon me, sir. Another Elohim, fresh from training camp, raised his hand. What determines who will be chosen? I have no idea how this works. Why did I say I could pick 12 commanders? But right now, in the wake of Mother Eve's death, we must be on high alert. Anami began giving orders as if he was General Michael himself. Sergeant, take your 2 best men and cover this human, said Anami, pointing at Methuselah, who stood just to his left. I need 10 artillery specialists to form a perimeter at the top of the 7 hills. How many of you are certified in subterfuge? Good. I need 5 men skilled in close combat to protect Father Seth's dwelling. 1 of you must stay with the human Tafara at all times. Each elder on the High Council must be covered. Finally, when all the men had orders, Anami informed them, I have important business to attend to on Mount Orata on behalf of the beloved. I'll expect a status update at 1704.18.83. Sir, yes, sir. Every Elohim, from the recently commissioned to the more experienced fighters from the first rebellion, stood at attention and saluted. Anami returned the honor and did an about would be so proud, now just a bit more for dramatic effect. He had intended to ascend heavenward in a graceful arc, but stopped midway when 2 voluminous wings suddenly appeared from his shoulders. Light exploded from every part of his being. Anami gasped. Some of the soldiers pointed. Then Anami faded as if a billion tiny pinpricks of light from his body decided to become as fluid and transparent as water. He looked at his arms and legs, not caring what the Elohim thought anymore. All hail the beloved! Anami shouted with glee as he transformed before their eyes. Finally, warrior class! Being a captain does have its perks. The troops below shouted in union, All hail the beloved! Instead of flying, Anami vanished into a single pinpoint of light. Outside time. Location, God's rest. Heaven's realm, 3rd dimension. By the time Enoch returned to his abode in God's rest, he was exhausted. Sure enough, 2 Elohim greeted him soon after the beloved departed. One moment he was playing with the pretty lights. Next, a consuming fire appeared in the doorway. We are ministering spirits, the pair of flames spoke in unison. We will make the adjustments needed now. Without a word, they hoisted him into the air. Whoa! Enoch exclaimed. The sensation of floating horizontally himself, it was as if 2 strong men carried him on a stretcher on their shoulders. Yet, neither of the flickering lights touched him. How is this possible? What are you doing? Enoch asked, trying to sit up. Please remain, young one, said the violet flame. Enoch limped through the mahogany doors, arriving in perfect unison with the coordinates. Ah, Enoch, I see you have been with the ministering spirits, the beloved laughed. You could have warned me, my lord, said Enoch. Yes, but where is the fun in that? The beloved grinned. Did you not? Enoch glared and collapsed into the chair next to I-1704. Glad for once it immediately contoured to fit his form. I like this chair, he replied. You are a fast learner, Enoch. If one cannot speak anything pleasant, then nothing should be said. Enoch said nothing. In time, you will find the treatments quite invigorating. But for now, you must endure them until your frame adjusts to accommodate the movement of heaven's realm and its dimensions. Lord, what are dimensions? Enoch asked, exasperated. I do not know what dimensions are. Look, said the beloved, with a wave of his hand. Once again, I-1704 came to life and displayed a multitude of peoples and lands. It's easier to show you. Remember, during your last instruction, you saw your past as well as what is occurring now in Adama. Yes, Lord, I remember. Good. There are 7 dimensions on the lowest level in the first dimension. A multi-tiered image appeared on the pane as the beloved spoke. Everyone born on Adama has access to the first dimension only. Well, what dimension is this? Asked Enoch, leaning in towards the image. Right now, you are existing in the third dimension, the lowest level of heaven's realm. The lowest level of heaven's realm. I am only on the lowest level? Enoch's countenance fell. You are highly honored to come to the third dimension, the beloved said gently. You are the only human who has since Father Adam and Mother Eve. Oh, Enoch sat up straighter. It is the ancient Father's third dimension at the very least, the beloved continued. The other dimensions from the 4th to the 7th are accessible based on a maturation process. They each excel in glory the higher you proceed until finally you reach the 7th dimension, which contains the seat of the Ancient One. Do you mean to say it is possible for us, the Ancient One? Do you mean to say it is possible for us to visit the higher dimensions? Well, naturally, if you choose to do so, said the beloved. Well, let us go to the 7th dimension now, said Enoch. He hopped out of his chair and brightened considerably. I have always wanted to see the Hidden Father. Not so fast, the beloved replied. His eyes shone with admirations before coming into the presence of the Hidden Father. Otherwise, you would be consumed and utterly destroyed by his perfection. Oh, Enoch dropped his head, crestfallen. But you can begin your preparations this very moment, the beloved said, pointing to one scene in I-1704. The image and pointing to one scene in I-1704. The image enlarged until it filled the entire pane. He became serious as he examined it more closely and spoke again. With great obedience, you can progress very quickly to the upper dimensions. Yes, my lord, Enoch said. His attention was drawn to the scene before him. Choice affects a progression. Come, said the beloved, look at this coordinate. When the beloved touched a location on the pane, the scene froze. Is that? Asked Enoch. It is, the beloved replied. Enoch stared at the motionless figures of Father Adam and Mother Eve. They were so beautiful. Father Adam told me about their former glory, they were so beautiful. Father Adam told me about their former glory, but I never knew they were they looked so much like. Enoch gazed with mouth open at his forebearers, completely lost for words. Yes, they were truly made in our image until Eve was deceived and Adam sinned, added the beloved, moving as past progressions rushed by on I-1704. Enoch watched, enraptured with the flowing images. Darkness became light and then separated and formed. Oceans, lakes, and rivers appeared. Masses of land spread forth. Creatures filled the waters, the sky, and the land until finally a beautiful garden touched the ground and scooped a handful of soil into its brilliance. The light breathed. He tapped the image. See here? A speck of black marred the otherwise flawless scene. It was without purpose or symmetry, as if a clumsy painter spilled ink onto his drawing. Every time someone's thoughts stray from the perfection of the Ancient One's plan, a speck appears. What is it? Enoch asked. It is the seed of sin, a root of distortion, if you will. Enoch furrowed his brows. It begins as a speck and seems harmless, the beloved, one speck in a sea of beauty. Indeed, but the speck is insidious. It systematically weaves itself into the progression and causes chaos. The beloved swiped his finger across I-1704 again, this time moving it forward. Look, he said, pointing out a conglomeration of specks, exclaimed as he watched a pack of wolves dotted with specks hunt down Tubal-Cain in the woods of Avonland. I knew the animals were behaving strange, attacking humans and eating one another, but I did not realize. And see here, it is the cause of the sickness as well. Enoch saw the Medici giving ailing little ones the alru. They were covered. Enoch saw the Medici giving ailing little ones the alru. They were covered with specks too. Lord, why could we not see the specks? Enoch asked. That would have aided us in stopping the spread. Enoch, the specks can only be seen from the upper dimensions. The second dimension, the spiritual realm which exists between your world, Adama, and the third dimension of heaven's realm, is where the rebellious one resides. Please, understand the speck of distortion which is sin did not originate in Adama. It originated in the seventh heaven when it was found in the rebellious one, who because of that nameless one feeds off sin and causes it to grow. He is attracted to the specks and sends his fallen ones to multiply the distortion. But the hidden Father created all things, even the nameless one. You said so yourself. Do you mean to say the hidden Father created sin? Enoch asked. Father created sin? Enoch asked. Why would the Ancient One allow sin to exist at all? The Beloved sighed. Of course, sin was always a possibility. Good and evil are eternal truths the one mind has always known, said the Beloved. Naturally, truth cannot be destroyed. So, he contained those truths to protect his young creation from its responsibility. Once a sentient being knows the difference between good and evil, he becomes responsible for his choices. Everything evil, no matter how large or small, leads to corruption. Enoch fell silent. How many times have my thoughts strayed from the hidden Father's plan? The hidden Father is gracious, the Beloved added, touching Enoch's forehead with the tip of his finger. All of the tension drained from Enoch's body. The one mind has initiated a hedge that protects humans from their thoughts in the physical world, said the Beloved. Sin does not reap consequences until someone embraces it through action. The Nameless One embraced sin and was banished from the upper dimensions because of it. There is no spot in heaven's realm. Enoch's eyes became big. Oh, he exclaimed. Yes, the tales of old said it all. When Father Adam and Mother Eve ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and they too were banished. Precisely. We could not allow them to also eat from the tree of life and live forever. If they had, there would be no possibility of redemption for them. Adam and Eve would be forever evil, said the Beloved, tapping the table. And you would not be at this coordinate discussing expression 1704. See here, said the Beloved, waving his hand across I-1704 until the pane showed the Garden of Eden. There was no sin in your realm until Adam and Eve embraced it. Before, they were full of light. He waved his hand again, moving the panel to a later coordinate. Now, dark specks flow from the souls of men and cloud the atmosphere of Adama. For truth, I cannot believe all those specks were around us, but hidden from our sight, said Enoch. Thoughts are not visible on Adama, as it is a physical realm. Only the outcomes of thoughts can be seen there, while on Adama you cannot one's will. That is not true of the third dimension. In the upper realms, even one's thoughts are visible. Enoch's mouth dropped. His eyes darted around the room, trying to find his thoughts. The Beloved laughed. Do not worry, Enoch. Dark thoughts need not become sin. Curiosity is not the same as sin becomes sin. Curiosity is not the same as sin. Curiosity emanates colors, not specks. Enoch relaxed. Pastels flowed in every nuance around his head, then burst into a soft yellow light. I did that? He asked. Yes, Enoch, said the Beloved. That yellow light. I did that? He asked. Yes, Enoch, said the Beloved. That is your curiosity. It is a delight, is it not? Since my curiosity is a delight, I'll ask another question. An explosion of color burst from Enoch's head. Enoch jumped. The Beloved tried to suppress a chuckle. The one mind laughed as well. They are in Father. The Beloved tuned out the booming laughter emanating from the throne in the upper dimensions, knowing Enoch could not hear it, and focused on the human. Well, Lord, Enoch paused, stepping backwards from the colors. Why are the childlings and even the creatures on Adama affected? They did not step outside the plan of the one mind. Not willingly, the Beloved agreed, yet they are tainted. You see, what began as a small speck became part of Adam, a seed of distortion placed within him, the bearer of the seed. That distortion continues to grow exponentially with each successive generation. All of his descendants will become more and more corrupt. Ah, Enoch said, that is why Mother Eve remains young and vibrant even though she is ages older than her offspring. She retains only her own sin, but not the sin of anyone else. Not exactly, said the Beloved. Your conclusion them even after they chose to separate from the one mind, a token of the hidden Father's mercy. Enoch searched his memory. He knew Father Adam said the Ancient One gave them gifts, which they kept in the cave of treasures, where they dwelt after leaving the Garden of Eden. They received the garments to cover their nakedness, the precious myrrh for the anointing oil, the incense for prayer, and the golden rods to remind them of heaven's realm. Father Adam had given several of his offspring a share of the gifts before he departed. His hand automatically went to his waist for the pouch containing his share. Then he remembered, I gave my pouch to Methuselah. Enoch said, the beloved, knowing his thoughts. But you forgot to give Methuselah one thing. The garment, Enoch explained, touching the tunic on his chest. I still have Father Adam's garment. That must be corrected, said the beloved. The garment I made for Adam contains the essence of the hidden Father. It is a cloak of the distortion. It also bears the authority of the Ancient One. Do you mean the person who wears that garment is free from the curse? Enoch asked. Not completely, but the full effect of the curse, namely death, is greatly delayed. More importantly, it is difficult to resist the authority of the one wearing that mantle. Submission to the one who wears the tunic is very likely. That is why Father Adam left it to the one chosen as bearer after him, Enoch said, jumping up from his seat with the recognition. Exactly. That is why you must return it to Methuselah, said the beloved gravely. He will have great need of it as the continues, especially now that Mother Eve has departed and passed along her garment as well. Mother Eve died? Enoch began to pace, wondering what else he missed since his departure. Will she come here to God's rest? Enoch asked hopefully. No, she will join Adam in Sheol. Enoch stopped abruptly. They are in Sheol? You sent them to Sheol? He accused. Red waves burst from his body. The beloved was very still. Finally, he answered, Enoch, will you not trust me even after all you have seen? Enoch dropped his head. All you have seen? Enoch dropped his head. A wave of purple enveloped him. They are protected, Enoch. Even in the midst of Sheol, I have made a paradise for those who die trusting me. Mother Eve is safe. I know you can be trusted. Forgive me, Lord. It is for God to be concerned now for the one who bears her garment. Adna, Enoch exclaimed. My wife must have Mother Eve's mantle now. I must return at once to assist her. No, the mantle has passed to Tafara, corrected the beloved, and because of it, danger draws near. Why Tafara? Enoch asked. Adna will not be pleased. Enoch blushed, knowing the beloved heard his thoughts. He added quickly, But Lord, why do you not just take the garment back? Asked Enoch. Then no harm would come to Tafara, and everything will be as it should. I cannot. The gifts we give are without repentance. They cannot be taken back. Why not? The thought came instantly. Enoch blushed again, but said nothing. Enoch, a gift is not a gift if the person receiving it does not have the free will to keep it and control it. For truth, my lord, Enoch said, remembering all the times he had used the precious myrrh and incense oil. But we can bring balance to free will that harms others by giving another gift or by... The Lord stopped speaking and turned his focus to I-1704. Enoch moved quickly towards the eye as he watched a group of tiny specks form before his eyes. This is troubling. He touched the screen, imitating the beloved. This is troubling. He touched the screen, imitating the beloved's move earlier, and paused. Am I allowed to do this? The beloved nodded. This is part of your training. Proceed. This group of specks just formed here, Enoch said. He enlarged the coordinate to take a closer look. This is the Seti of Nod. They seem to be moving. Here at Tubal-Cain's dwelling, and here at the abode of Samjaza. Wait, they are everywhere. Enoch touched the screen with all 10 fingers as if that would stop the specks. Yes, Enoch, replied the beloved. Great deception has been birthed in the Seti of Nod, and all Adama will soon be affected. This anomaly on progression 1704. Anomaly? Enoch sat again. I do not understand. When Samjaza and his men, the Watchers, left their assigned position and interfered with progression 1704, they created an anomaly. Adama is not developing according to its original Adama is not developing according to its original plan because of it. Those Watchers have fallen into the Nameless One's trap to thwart the prophecy spoken to Eve. The prophecy. Oh, yes, right. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. Enoch recall the rest. Oh, and he shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel. Indeed, said the beloved. The one mind foresaw all and built in the remedy before the foundation of Adama. We knew that serpent would reproduce seed, yet his seed shall not prevail. The beloved stepped away from I-1704. Shall not prevail. The beloved stepped away from I-1704 and spoke. Return. Instantly the window misted and came back to the view of heaven's realm. Come, Enoch, said the beloved. You must prepare to depart. Depart? Depart where? Enoch stalled, suddenly hesitant now that he could clearly see what was happening. Enoch stalled, suddenly hesitant now that he could clearly see what was happening on Adama. It was one thing to hear tales of the fallen. It was another to see them with your own eyes. First, you will deliver the tunic made for Adam to Methuselah, said the beloved. You will not need it after your next preparation. He glided towards the mahogany door. Fear not, you will have assistance. The guardians will aid you. What about Tafara? Enoch asked. He stood straight and stiffened his shoulders, trying to sound braver than he felt. Shall I warn her? I could take the garment from her. Then your honor would be unbroken. No, Enoch. The mantle has freely passed to Tafara. It is her gift, beloved, as he touched the door's golden knobs. Is he actually going to use the door? Enoch wondered, then blushed again, knowing the beloved heard every thought. The beloved turned to face him and grinned. More peals of laughter erupted from the throne. The beloved spoke. Enoch, there is one more thing. Your desire to see the Ancient One. One more thing. Your desire to see the Ancient One pleases him very much, and he says he looks forward to seeing you in the seventh dimension at some coordinate. But until then, he has asked me to give you all his love. With that, the beloved stepped forward and hugged Enoch. Light poured like liquid into every pore of his, as if an eternity of emotion was transmitted in his touch. Enoch dropped to the floor, overwhelmed. The beloved touched the crouching man's shoulder, spoke one word, and vanished. His laughter echoed through the halls of the Department of Progressions. The flames returned, without so much as a knock this time. They flowed through the mahogany doors and crumpled on the floor. Tisk, tisk, said the blue flame. Poor thing, replied the violet flame with a knowing nod. The beloved will be wanting this one to receive expansions this time. Indeed, said the blue flame. He is not used to receiving the hidden Father's love. Methuselah's time. Location, Mount Arata, Adama, first dimension. Delmar landed on the frosted peaks of Mount Arata without a moment to spare. He glanced around, looking for his friend. Strange, it's not like I'm him. Nothing is keeping me but the one mind, friend. Delmar took a step back from the snowy bank in front of him. Anami, said Delmar. He leaned forward and peered, then swung around looking to his left and right. He didn't see anything. At your service, said Anami, as he unfolded his wings and spun around to face him. Gotcha! Delmar jumped back. They are the perfect camouflage next to the snowbank, right? Said Anami. You have wings, said Delmar. When? How? He reached out to touch one. These are some of the finest I have ever seen. I know, praise the amazing. After all our battles, finally I have been deemed warrior class. Congratulations, Anami, said Delmar. I'm really happy for you. Thank you, friend, said Anami. And don't worry about calling me captain. We can dispense with the formalities when it's just us. Oh, I wasn't worried, said Delmar. He looks so different. Oh, I wasn't worried, said Delmar. He looks so different. You had an urgent message for me, right? Said Anami. Yes, said Delmar. How did you know? You said you would explain. Oh, right, said Anami. You'll never guess what happened. What? Asked Delmar. No, you have to guess, Anami insisted. Just tell me already, said Delmar. Okay, but you really should have a little more fun, Delmar. Tell me, said Delmar. I received the gift of signatures, too. All I have to do is center and focus on someone, and I can perceive their thoughts from great distances. I am detected you, Anami asked. I was at the Seti of Nod over 60 spans away, said Delmar. A hard knot formed in the pit of his stomach. He has wings, he has the gift of signatures, and now he is a captain too. Well, you don't have to call me captain, said Anami quietly. He walked over to the stone alps made by Captain Samjaza to survey the land below. What was your urgent news? Delmar was more than glad to talk about the task at hand. I saw Samjaza and Azazel meet with Lucifer, I mean Satan, he added quickly, cringing at the blunder. No way, said Anami. What happened? Delmar quickly brought him up to speed, glad he didn't have to adhere to the formalities since Onami was in charge. They will be looking for the garments using full force, no doubt. Do you have any idea where they are? Well, I believe the man Enoch has Father Adams. The beloved took him, so we don't have to worry about him. That leaves Mother Eve. No, she is dead. She was transitioned just this son's birth. Where is her garment? Was it on her person? No, it is their custom to leave it to the next in line. Anami paused to think. Delmar, you're the strategist. Who would she leave it to? Father Seth? I already have him heavily guarded. Delmar was glad to be back on familiar turf, analyzing. Mother Eve would be more than likely to pass it to a woman, probably a Medici, either the eldest or the most qualified. Let's see, there is... Onami tuned out Delmar's recital of the names and qualifications of all the Medici. An image came to his mind. Onami remembered Father Seth walking out of Mother Eve's abode and blowing the ram's horn. Then Tafara came out and stood by her father. She was draped in a finely made tunic of leather. Delmar was still analyzing out loud. And Adna is the bearer's helpmeet, but two... So that leaves us with Medici. Tafara, shouted Anami. Tafara, accurate assessment, but how did you know? I think I saw her wearing it. Come, let's go to the city of Seth. Anami made to leave, but stopped mid-air and hovered. What's wrong? Asked Delmar. Yes, Lord, said Anami. Right away, my lord. Delmar fell silent when he realized Anami was receiving orders. Change of plans, said at once. I can go to the city of Seth, scout out any fallen, and alert the Elohim to any activity while you, Delmar offered, sensing his friend's disappointment. No, we are both to report. Anami's aura flashed through every color in the spectrum. Do you know what this is about? Asked Delmar, thinking of his reaction to Anami's promotion. Am I to be disciplined? I have no idea, but we must hurry.